You strangled Diane Kruger, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, come on. What do you mean roll video?
Seconds.
We're fucking killing ourselves out here, and you've got to be ready.
I am too. I'm standing
So we
right
play
by
mood
the
music?
door. No, I
Yeah,
can't
but when
hear.
you came in like this, you said just...
We're sitting there because they say, wait a minute,
okay.
and then you say
Yeah,
on the radio,
but when you
go.
do it, you've got to look desperate, Shelley. You're just wasting everybody's time now.
I can't even get this.
When it comes to the genius director in cinema, a lot of our conceptions stem from a portion of film theory called auteurism.
I recently watched a video by the YouTuber L-Literacy called "Is the Myth of the Genius Director Finally Dying?" There she is talking about, film history and the myth of the great auteur, the genius director, who all alone is rebelling against the system of corporate filmmaking and blah 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 and so on, and creates this great art that is the result of great suffering. And these directors are abusive on the set. They torture their actors in different kind of ways to achieve their great artistic vision. And I agree with this criticism definitely to a certain extent. And it's a great thing that we have now a campaign like Me Too and so on, and that we don't let great artists get away with their crimes. It doesn't matter if Roman Polanski is a great filmmaker, he should be in prison for the crimes he has committed and so on. So I totally agree with that. But then there are a few things that Elle said in her video that I completely disagree with. First of all, she says that those are mostly white male directors who are regarded as geniuses and who can therefore get away with much more immoral behavior than, for example, female directors. I don't know. What is this opinion based on? Where is the data for that? I think the number one genius director in film history who got probably away with the most disgusting behavior is a woman, obviously, and that's Leni Riefenstahl, who directed Nazi propaganda movies. And she took prisoners from concentration camps in Nazi Germany to have unpaid actors and actresses and extras on set, and then after filming she put them back into the concentration camps again, where they were tortured to death and murdered and so on. I mean, how fucking crazy is that? Has Stanley Kubrick ever done anything that's even close to that? I don't think so. And Leni Riefenstahl, as far as I know, wasn't even brought in front of a judge for that behavior. Everybody just accepted it. She made her last movie at the age of 100 in the year 2001, so people still were ready to finance her project even though she was part of the Nazi party. So I don't think that this point by L-Literacy is at all based on any actual data. I haven't heard an argument for it, at least in this video. Then she points out the difference between people like Alfred Hitchcock and Stanley Kubrick, who definitely, tortured, harassed their actresses and actors in numerous ways. They terrorized them emotionally and so on. And then she's comparing that with the director of Twilight, of the first Twilight film, and there she says that according to people on set, this female director, when she had an emotional outburst, she went like away from everybody and cried alone in privacy and so on. I think this is the reason why Twilight is so bad, or at least one of the reasons. I think it's paradigmatic for it, because Hitchcock and Kubrick, of course, they were like big fucking assholes on set, but they pushed all of their bad, destructive emotions into the film. And of course, if you're on set with them when they are doing this, you are going to have a bad time. For sure, I think you would have a bad time if you were in the same room with Dostoevsky when he was writing his novels. You would have had a bad time when you were in the same room with Van Gogh when he painted his paintings and so on, because there is some emotional turmoil going on there. Those artists are trying to get all of their emotions out in this moment, and of course that's really painful and dangerous and unsafe, totally. And it's not an excuse at all, but you just have to accept that reality is not that black and white. For example, let's talk about the actors who worked with people like Kubrick and Hitchcock. I'm sorry, in later years definitely people knew how those directors behaved on set. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman knew what they were going into when they starred in Stanley Kubrick's last masterpiece, Eyes Wide Shut. And they were not as interested in their mental or physical health than they were in making a great movie, creating great art. Actors go to directors and ask them, beg them, please make whatever you have to do with me so that I can give the greatest performance that I can give. They are more interested in the art than they are in their physical or mental health. I mean, obviously not every actor, obviously all actors are like individuals and have different limits and so on, but there are definitely actors who are more interested in the art than in their own safety. And so they love to work with people like Kubrick and Hitchcock, even though it is really torturous. So I just think that we should talk about this auteur theory in a more nuanced and less black and white way. And to point out the last thing, Elle also suggested that a film is never the creation of a single person, of a single man or woman. Sorry, that's also completely false. Think about Stan Brakhage, who made many of his movies completely alone without any help whatsoever. So I think Elle Literacy's opinion is in a sense the result of cinematic illiteracy.